This is about spooky twins at a distance of a century. Speaking of, that's Zanzi. I'm Zenzi. Book so big, it's almost impossible. The Life of Alain Locke. Harvard, Howard, Oxford, Berlin, philosopher, aesthetician. I am a Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher focused on aesthetics, Andy Warhol in my case specifically, who has become the Globe's original consulting philosopher of her proprietary brand of life-centric thinking, and the philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism, which teaches us about quantum physiology. Now, I had a lot to say here. I'm about to have to focus. I'm halfway through, right up to the Harlem Renaissance. Spooky action at a century, exactly. We're about to dive into Sapolsky's determined. Sorry, I was about to difference. That's Franz de Waal. Determined. The science of life without free will. True. Really, I'm so excited about Sapolsky. And also, coming back to me, because what Sapolsky probably isn't aware of. Plantosapiens, Paco Calva. The new science of plant intelligence. Plants got free will? Actually, quite a great deal more than we do. Norman Deutsch. Also, boom, 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 the brain's way of healing. And I go dive right in, just randomly open a book, dive into a guy with Parkinson's for 50 years. Walked himself well. Conscious walking, he calls it. And find the bit on autism. Adult onset autism here. I am not well. I'm been left for dead by thousands of people because I'm the apex intellect of consciousness. You know, Sapolsky, I could feel, just like Dan Dennett and Doug Hofstadter, I'm agree with all their data. I have different data, but what emerges is because they didn't need to stay alive. It's a lived experience, and there's a Trojan giraffe of whiteness. The whistleblower of the Western whiteness thought tradition. I had to figure out how to stay alive. I'm alone in the world. No family, no friends, no funds. 3 years of homelessness. That caused my adult onset autism. And here I am. Still somehow. Got a photo where I could show you. I have recreated my face. Even while can't stay alive because this is what I need to do for work. Hashtag stand-up philosophy. That's the genre. That's what I'm going to give and create actual jobs for philosophers going forward. Academic philosophy. Crucial. But way too insular. We got a world to be solving. Climate change, the ever-escalating burdens of chronic disease and mental illness. That's my wheelhouse with quantum philosophy. You know, I did a quick Google search. I think I did. Philosopher, all y'all science, philosophy departments. Philosophy of science, philosophy of mind. philosopher of physiology, quantum physiology. It's the complementarity. That's one of the life-centric thinking heuristics. The complementarity is crucial. You're not going to get there linear thinking wise. This is exactly it. There's more Sapolsky coming. A whole hashtag campaign. Sapolsky. We'll see. We'll see. There's always embodied cognition coming at you when I do these videos. Nobody's caught it. And even when I point it out to people. I actually greened myself in one of my favorite videos. It's actually Chappelle Challenge versus Free Will Gathering. Free Will Gathering. Hashtag Free Will Gathering. This is a streaming series. I think we're up to 23 episodes. A lot of it's supporting material for people at Overbrook or Westbrook who want to holler at me. Free Will Gathering. I see people, wanting to put their name on stadiums and whatnot. I'm offering Will Smith the chance to name his own, my own, our own branch of philosophy. The only reason any of this is occurring, I'm about to give up. Got the Dave Chappelle's godfather. Too sick to talk to me. I respect that. Start over. I'm sicker than I ain't in a house. I ain't got no money for food. And yeah. I do know hashtag how to demolish racism by 2030. I think that would have got me a meeting, but I'll respect when you are sick. There's boundaries and limits, and I understand that. So what was I gonna do? I had given up. And then Miss Jada's memoir shows up in the newly published section at the Carnegie Library. Carnegie Library, Howard. Oh, his lectures. I opened for California's current poet laureate, Lee Herrick. My first performance, and so far only. December 1st. It's on the PGPL, Pacific Grove Public Library's YouTube. Open for. I wrote my own homage to Leaves of Grass called Minds of Grass. Quick. I was at a denouement, and then I kind of blew it. Greened it. Browned it. Yes, I'm on the California Central Coast. Yes, I have Sapolsky at Stanford. Eagleman too. But when my friend said her parents wouldn't downsize, and then that might be a chance I could stay with them, in my own mind so far, because she ain't had time to call me back. God. What it's like to be dying and all you get is forgotten? This neglect. But here's the thing. Because Black humans loved and cared for me while I was at Carnegie Mellon, I've got what it takes to endure expulsion from the species. Clearly just what I've been living through. And I know what consciousness is. I know what functions. And it's the philosophical evolution that launches the next scientific revolution. It's big, it's huge. And no, I'm not just blurting it out on YouTube for free. We're other people will commercialize it. It's the not wanting to commercialize it. And wow, commercializing that our only problem is our thinking. Now, somebody is walking by with music that I cannot abide. I don't know what it is. I don't know where they're at. That's what autism is like. Like, you just can't be coming at me with, I'm over here. This is the problem. The brain fritzes out because of the immensity. We are living in such a toxic society. And I know that it feels like, oh, you should just be able to not pay attention to things. But when you're literally on the verge of death, you must pay attention to everything. And whether or not you are consciously aware of it, or paying attention to these things, that you willed yourself to ignore your own senses and feelings. This is what's causing all this trauma. So it's causing everything that we can control. We don't really have a good model. We don't have a good enough model of human functioning to account for the fact that 90% of chronic disease is stress-based. Philosophical hypothesis of bioelectromagnetism is a unifying theory of human energy, potential, and well-being. And I want to bring to Howard University the well-being philosophy. And all of the backwardsness is hashtag well-being philosophy. But we'll get will in here with a little check writing. Well-being philosophy, I want to ground seed at Howard. I'm certain of this. More certain of this than I've been of anything that I succeeded at the Chappelle Challenge. Getting to Dave somehow. And DC is a perfect place to get DC's attention. Or BJ's. Life-centric thinking will teach all 8 billion humans across every nook and cranny on Earth. That's where all the money comes from. Stand-up philosophy tours. My own version of stand-up philosophy. Other people may do it their own way, create their acts and everything. I am hashtag Socratic improv. And just like Alain, my predecessor, is spooky twins at a distance of a century. Seriously. It's incredible. And of course, we're not the same person in any way. You're a very small man, a very large woman. But we are both philosophers focused on aesthetics, focused on using creativity and performance art as he used drama and poetry and painting, and he was less down with the performance arts, jazz and everything. Oh, I've went on. Fuck y'all, I need time constraints. It's what's killing you, truthfully. I know how to explain time. Yes, okay. So I have not cracked the Sapolsky book. I have no reason to lie to you. I mean, you can tell I got it out today. Somebody can verify that. Okay. Okay. Here, so we'll just start. Robert Sapolsky's Behave, his now classic, I concur, account of why humans do good and why they do bad, pointed toward an unsettling conclusion. We may not grasp the precise marriage of nature and nurture that creates the physics and chemistry at the base of human behavior, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Well, no! We may not grasp, I grasp! And it ain't y'all's physics and chemistry. Philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism. We need new science. Howard got a medical school and got access to the NIHs. I do have one of the right behind. Spend my days learning Africana philosophy. Got to know that before I go out in public. So, looking for just a tab. Just give me a semester to dive into Africana philosophy, where I can have conversations and figure out how to present what I've got. I've got decades of IP, and I'm willing to give. This is win-win-win strategic collaboration. The reason I have worked so hard to not compromise. We're just so poisoned in having to create businesses. The truth about human functioning belongs to all humanity. And, like Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to change my name from Deb Helfrich to Zenzile Londelozzi. I'm responsible for who I've become, the protector of all living beings. She Einstein of consciousness. She's Sherlock of human functioning. She's Socrates of life-centric thinking. Harmony.